Okay, muchachos, let's move on. In the previous segment, we talked about the prepositions. I read a list of all the Spanish prepositions, and I translate them into English to explain the meaning of all of them. And I also talk about these two, por and para, and I said that they are very special. That's why we in the Spanish classes dedicate a specific class, I said, to talk about this. Okay, let's start by talking about por. Okay, por. Uses of por. Well, por can be used when we talk about movimiento, movement. I'm talking about physical, okay, movement, movimiento, ¿vale? For example, when I say voy por la ciudad. Okay, voy por la ciudad. What is this? That in a specific place, let's say this rectangle is the city, I am inside moving. Okay, voy por la ciudad. That's one of the most common uses of the preposition por. Okay, the next one is duración. For example, Juan. Okay, just let me clean my mistake here. Juan viajó por una semana. Juan viajó por una semana. This is a period of time. Okay? I don't know why. You know why? What happened is I'm looking at the camera to check that everything is being recorded correctly, and that's when I make these stupid mistakes. Juan viajó, he traveled, Juan, por una semana. We are talking about prepositions, not verbs. Por una semana is a period of time. Okay? This is optional. I can say Juan viajó una semana, and I'm expressing exactly the same idea. If I say Juan viajó una semana, that's a grammatically correct sentence. Okay, the next one is causa o razón. Causa o razón. You know, we have causes and effects. If I say, let me see, ella lloraba por su dolor de cabeza. I don't know if you can, yeah, su dolor de cabeza. Ella lloraba por su dolor de cabeza. Por, it's right here. This is the pain is the cause of the tears. She's weeping, she's crying, right? Because it pains a lot. Maybe it sounds a little bit exaggerated, but if you have a migraine, you experience a tremendous amount of pain, certainly. So the pain is the cause of the action, in this case, that she's crying. Okay? That will be the third use of por. Just let me very quickly erase the whole thing. And let's move on to the fourth one, which is, just let me check, 1, 2, 3, 4, medio. Medio, basically I will think transportation and communication. Transporte y comunicación. Okay? So means of transportation and communication. For example, Pedro habló por teléfono, by phone. I don't know if you can read. I think so. I don't. Okay. I'm using the preposition por because I am talking about a means of communication, which in this case is the teléfono. Transporte. I can say ellos viajaron por tren o por avión, which is more common, right? Por avión. Ellos viajaron por avión. I can also say viajaron en avión o en tren. In both cases, I'm talking about medios. The first one is a means of communication. The second one is a mean of transportation. Avión. Okay? So the next one is whenever we are dealing with intercambio o sustitución. Intercambio o sustitución. Let me think in a good example of this. If I say, ella trabajó por él. Maybe he was sick, right? So she substituted him. She worked instead, or in place, or she replaced him in his job for one day because he was sick or something. This is substitution. Intercambio, por ejemplo, if I say, let me think, I know. 21 pesos por $1. When you're talking about currencies, right? Exchange. 21 pesos por $1. In this case, we're talking about intercambio. So whenever we're selling something, we can say, let's say I'm trying to sell, I don't know, this marker. And I can, if I'm trying to sell this, I can say, quiero $1 por él. Por él. Quiero $1. I want $1. Or the price of this marker is $1, in other words, right? But I'm trying to make a little translation. I want $1 for this. Quiero $1 por esto. That will be intercambio as well. Okay? So that's the uses of, no. I have other ones. Well, actually I have two more. When I'm talking about speed, velocidad, that's, I think, very useful. 20 kilómetros por hora. Okay? Let's say that's the speed limit in a specific street. 20 kilómetros por hora. Okay? It's pretty slow, no? For example, if there is a school or something, 20 kilómetros por hora. And the other one, just let me erase, this is the last one. It's to introduce the agent of the passive voice. So I can matar dos pájaros de un solo tiro. Do you understand what I say? I can kill two birds with one stone, I would say in English. I think so. Okay, for example, if I say Juan preparó la cena. It's a very basic, very simple sentence, right? So we have a subject, we have a verb, and we have an object. Juan preparó la cena. Is this active or passive voice, muchachos? Clearly, this is active. So when the syntax is like this, like the standard syntax, subject, verb, and object, that's called an active voice. If I transform this into a passive voice, what I have to do is I need to take the object, I have to click here, and I need to drag it and place it here. And this is what I am going to do. Okay, the next thing is the verbal tense of the verb. What is the verbal tense? It's the preterite. Okay, it's preterite. So now I need the verb ser. The preterite of the verb ser. Fue. Now, what we need is the verb, but the past participle. Okay? Fue preparada. Look at this. This is feminine. Why? Because la cena is feminine. Fue preparada, because this is a description of la cena, which is the object, okay, in the active version of the sentence. So, la cena fue preparada. Just let me grab a different color. Fue preparada. This preparada relates to la cena. Fue preparada, and here is when I have to use the preposition por. Por and who prepared the dinner? Juan. Okay? So, the preposition por introduced Juan. Juan was the subject in the original sentence, but not anymore, my friends. Now, it's called the agent. And don't forget, this is active, and this is the passive. Okay? And that's it. So far, so good, right? We cover some uses of por and para. Two very common and very important prepositions in Spanish. Thank you.